everyone to another video on smart architectural programming. And in today's video, we're going to dive into the fascinating topic that sits at the delightful intersection of puzzles, mathematics, and artificial intelligence: cryptarithmetic problems. Let's unravel what they are, why they matter, and how they're solved with AI. Oh, and yes, they're going to be fun. Puzzles and AI enthusiasts, you're in for a treat. So, the first question is, what is a cryptarithmetic problem? Imagine this: you're looking at the mathematical equation, but instead of numbers, there are letters. Each letter represents a unique digit, and your goal is to figure out which letter corresponds to which digit to make the equation true. Sounds like a brain teaser, doesn't it? That's exactly what it is. And you can see on the screen right now the classic example of what a cryptarithmetic problem looks like. Right? The challenge here is to assign a digit 0 to 9 to each letter such that the equation holds true and no two letters share the same digit, for instance, so and so basically. So let's move on to the next section. Why are cryptarithmetic problems important in AI? You might wonder, sure, it's a fun puzzle, but what does it have to do with AI? Like, does it have any utility in AI? But while solving these problems involves some very important key topics that are central to the concept of AI, or essential for someone who wants to work in the space of AI to understand and work with basically. So the first concept that you need to remember regarding how cryptarithmetic problems relate to AI is the constraint satisfaction problems. These are CSPs, or constraint satisfaction problems. What is a CSP, or a constraint satisfaction problem? Basically, cryptarithmetic problems are a type of CSP where the solution must satisfy specific rules. No two letters can map to the same digit. The addition must hold true, basically. So remember, there are two important constraints here. Every number must be unique, and the addition of the problem must be hold true, basically. We're going to presume that whatever the shown problem is, it ultimately is satisfied, and the answer there should be answer that solves that problem. Number two, remember that search and optimization is an essential aspect of AI as well as cryptarithmetic problems. AI thrives on searching for solutions in complex problem spaces. Cryptarithmetic problems often require exploring permutations, pruning possibilities, and converging on the correct answer. Number three, logic and reasoning. AIs do logic and reasoning, and solving these puzzles is a great way to exercise logical deduction, which is also a foundational aspect of AI. And number four, real-world parallels. There are many real-world parallels that you can find with cryptarithmetic problems. These problems simulate challenges in domains like scheduling, resource allocation, and cryptography, all of which are an essential component of areas where AI might be employed and used. Now that we understand that, a question is, how would we go about solving cryptarithmetic problems, basically? So let's take a closer look at how AI tackles these problems. Spoiler alert, it's smarter and faster than you, unless you're a secret supercomputer. If that is the case, obviously I think you'll be much faster. But if that's not the case, let's see how AI can do these faster and much more effectively than us. So at step number one, you need to rearrange these problems. This is how you might also imply to the AI to solve these problems as well. So basically, at step number one, you need to represent the problem in a way that is easier for you to digest and for the AI to also encapsulate, basically. AI starts by representing the problem in a structured way. For the equation that we showed above, like that is send plus more equals to money, right? It creates variables. The letters SENDMORE become variables. It domains, then it creates domains for each variable, keeping in mind that each variable can take a value from 0 to 9. And then there are constraints in this problem, right? So the AI sets up constraints. It reminds itself of the constraints, rather, that each letter maps to a unique digit. Arithmetic sum of send plus more must equal money, and that cannot be, and 0 cannot be used since they're leading digits, basically. So with that in mind, the AI, after setting all of these representation, moves to the step number two, which is constraint propagation, basically. So before jumping into guesswork, AI applies constraints to reduce possibilities. For instance, it knows that the constraint, there's a unique digit rule, so every digit must be unique, and the first digit of the result m must account for any carryover basically. So when you're adding 2 3 for these I think send more 4-digit numbers, the 5-digit number that is the result, and the most leftmost number must be the carryover amount, here basically. So let's move on to step number 3 basically, uh, which includes search algorithms. AI then uses search algorithms to explore valid assignments basically. So there are 3 important aspects to search algorithms that you need to know. Number 1 is backtracking basically. So on step number 3, we're going over these essential search algorithms that the AI would deploy to find solutions to these problems. So in backtracking, the AI tries an assignment, basically checks if it's consistent and backtracks if it isn't. This is very systematic, but can also slow down without optimizations. Then the AI uses another search algorithm called heuristics, which includes techniques like most constrained variable, focus on variables with fewest possible options first. And then there's optimization algorithms. Basically, it has advanced methods like genetic algorithms or neural networks that can be applied especially for large complex problems basically. So after that, let's move on to the next thing, which is step number 4 basically. Here the AI does validation. Once the AI finds a solution, it validates the answer by checking if all constraints are satisfied and the equation holds true. So now let's solve one problem by ourselves basically. So how are we going to, what is the problem in general? So the simple cryptarithmetic problem for us to solve in this particular position here is to basically, as you can see on the screen below, it's 2 TOO plus TOO equals to 4, right? And basically some hints that might get you started. Basically, one digit, f of the result must be 1, since the sum of 2 digits numbers basically cannot exceed 1998. It also must be 7 or less, as adding 2 numbers cannot result in carry to new digit, and it must have unique digits basically. So let's take a moment, think about it, and if you solve it, congratulations, you're doing great at AI level thinking. If not, well, we'll find the answer in a couple of minutes. Presuming that you tried answering this question, let's try to solve this problem on the screen right now basically. So as we have mentioned before, basically, give me a second. So the problem is 2, give me a second, I'm being a little bit messy about this. So we have 2 plus 2 equals to 4. That's the problem here, right? So this is the cryptarithmetic problem that we need to solve. So given this problem, how do we go about solving that? That is something we'll cover just in a few minutes. I'm presuming you've at least tried solving this problem as of yet, basically, because that is the best way you can make develop an understanding about it. So first, we need to analyze the problem, right? 2 plus 2 equals to 4, which basically means we don't need to think too much here. It means 2 times 2 is equals to the result that we are mentioning. So 2 times 2 also equals to the same result, which is 4. Once we have this sorted out, and give me some time to write this down, so we have clarity around here. So once we have that, we need to understand 4 is a 4-digit number, which means the maximum for this 4-digit number under these circumstances is where f would equal to 1 basically. So f value we understand is 1. That's another aspect that we know. Based on that, we need to understand also that since 2 is a 3-digit number, t cannot be greater than 7. So to avoid 2 plus 2 being greater than 1999, which is the constraint, basic mathematical constraint that we have here. So let's get this pushed as well. Basically, where were we? Yeah. So basically, we know that t cannot be greater than 7. So t is equals to less than equals to 7, right? So that's another understanding we have of this problem right now. With that understanding, let's move on to representing 2 basically. So 2 can also be basically 100t plus 10o plus o equals to 100t plus 11o basically. So that's another part of 2 that we can represent basically. So we represent 2 like that. Let me sort that out, and let me just try to write text here instead. So it could be something like 2 equals to, basically we have 100t plus 11 O's. 100t plus 11 O. So that's how you can represent basically 2. So keep that on one aspect of your understanding, right? And once we have that, then we have 4. How do we represent 4? So ultimately 4, when we set that up, reduces to, basically, let me write that down so that makes sense. Give me a second. Let's get another letter here, which is 4 equals to, and let me just bring that representation here for ease. So 4 reduces down to this representation at the end of our deductions basically. And this is simple arithmetic rules that if you apply them, these are the deductions that you can come up with basically. Obviously, I'm not going to go into too much of the mathematical aspect here, but ultimately when you start with f here and where f equals to 1 and solve for 4 equals to 4 is equals to 2 into 2, you'll get a value basically that you'll be able to understand, right? So first you solve for t and o. So we start with f equals to 1, right? So given this statement here that we showed above here, if we have 2 into 2, if we have value of 1, we know, right? And we also know that basically it's 1400 into 2. So 2 into 2 equals to 700. We have this equation here, right? So 2 is 100t into 11o. So when we multiply this value here by 2, we get the value of 700 plus 11o basically. And t, that is the value that we get here. And similarly, when we have t equals to 7, which is the maximum possible amount for the leading digit of 2, we also get the same value for 4 and 2. Then we assign values of o, and then we verify the remaining digits. And we basically get the final answer to t equals to 7, o equals to 8, and f equals to 1, u equals to 7, and r equals to 6, basically. Now that we have the solution to this particular problem, the next thing that we need to understand here is basically why this particular concept of cryptarithmetic puzzles matters beyond cryptarithmetic problems basically. So cryptarithmetic problems aren't just about fun and games basically. They hone skills that are vital to AI development and practice applications for you basically. And it includes important AI related problems like problem modeling, efficient constraint handling, and logical reasoning. Moreover, these methods used here extend to solving real world problems in scheduling, resource optimization, and even DNA sequencing. So basically, I think at this point we wanted to put forward all we could regarding cryptarithmetic problems. Let's wrap up this video, and before I wrap up, I'll probably give you a challenge here as well. So cryptarithmetic problems are more than just a quirky pastime. They're a playground for testing and refining AI techniques. So next time you're stuck in a traffic or waiting in line, why not whip out a pencil and solve one? Better yet, try writing a program to solve it for you. That's where the magic of AI comes in. And here's your challenge for the day, as you can see on the screen right now. Cross+roads equals to danger. Can you solve it manually or write an AI script to crack it? Either way, it's your turn to flex those brain muscles. Please attempt this problem and give us your opinions down in the comments. Basically, if you were to solve it or you weren't able to solve it, were you able to solve it through a script or were you able to solve it manually? Let us know in the comments below. Also, if you got any value from this video, please like and subscribe. And with that, we're going to wrap up. Thank you and happy puzzling.